closer. That's right. Take a few more steps and immerse yourself in the shadow, including that hat. You don't want those good ears to hear this private conversation. That pad of paper from the miss, yes, the one wielding the ruler, is quite valuable. I can tell it is of a certain age and records quite a lot of anecdotes. One visitor to the island took out a baguette from his luggage. To share it with others, he made an attempt to parcel it off. Another visitor fell to the ground and happened to sit on a quart measure and break it. You can learn the punishments for them from the paper. The former was thrown into the sea, while the latter into the further sea. Only God knows how this wine-dark sea holds so many visitors. Oh, the debate! That's really a pain in the neck for that logical, pragmatic assistant of yours, isn't it? People always tend to mark what they can't figure out as arcanists' doings, as if things would make sense once they do so. But it won't change the fact that the debate is only a game involving sophistry, improvisation, and straw man fallacy. So what makes it superior to beans, if the form is what they are really after? Anyways, whoever fools the others first will win the game. No arcanum at all. And that argument of hers is the best attraction for the audience. A special number. A 0. That's ambitious, darling, and I love it. But you need to know that infinity is the most unfamiliar thing for the people, and that's why it triggers the most curiosity. Whoever tries to eat up this elephant with one bite will get all bloated and pinned by their own weight, waiting to die like a turtle upside down. By then, I guess you would be eager to throw up the elephant and turn back into the adorable, easygoing 0 we all like. See, just like you, people are always on the way to finding something that can satisfy them undoubtedly, as if what they already have was disappointing. They stare at the flame of the matches, read the tea leaves in the cup, and bustle around the instruments with star patterns. Now, back to the number we just talked about. Oh my! It's the prediction of your whole life. Can you believe that? You owe that spirited little genius a thank you. By the way, what do you see in her number? I always know you're a quick learner. You're very good at noticing new things. That's right. 37 is only 37. A nice unique prime number which equals the word genius. At least everyone prefers to think this way. Why not deify the one that is able to reach the truth when you have the chance? It's much easier to pin your hopes on others than to blame yourself. I guess you also did that, right, darling? It's okay. She never says no. She just lets the hopes pile up on her shoulder because she simply doesn't care at all. What a good child.
37. You just said Vertin's number is 0. Do you know what it means?
Very clearly.
Would you be able to submit proof to Apeiron?
No problem.
Half of you in this hall have put in the pebbles. If 37's argument is found to be true, every argument Vertin has spoken in Sonetto's defense will be deemed valid. Sonetto will be exempt from the punishment. I will announce the result once 37's proof has been validated by Apeiron. Thank you for your time.
Sonetto! Timekeeper, I'm so sorry. I tried my best, but still I couldn't understand the debate. I failed again.
What happened to her? Come here, little girl. We need to move her outside. Lie her down on the ground and wipe her palm and feet with dew and peppermint oil. That would be okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. The distinguished number 0. I'm kidding. I'm 210. Well, instead of the number, I prefer people call me the rhetorician.
I've heard your preachment. Pretty demagogic.
That's how logic works. With logic, I can prove that you'd cease to exist in the next moment, or that there are no other people in this world except me. Achilles can never outrun a tortoise, and a flying arrow is forever motionless. This debate is nothing but meaningless wordplay. That pacifist let you off this time. 6. A perfect number indeed. For he knows the benefit of reconciliation. Who wants to have blood on their hands and be devoured by the cycle of hatred? Yet it's a torture for any intelligent mind to hear such an immature debate. Can you feel the suffering of our leader now?
I'm sorry.
No apology needed, Miss Outsider. I also feel sorry for your pain. Given that 37 has revealed your number.
What do you mean?
37. Our evil little genius. The most cunning star of Hermes. She's been having fun revealing others' numbers for a long time. Our numbers are our essence, and it's also the most important proof we get once in our lifetime. But she enjoys taking that opportunity away from you, just because her talent allows her to do so. She did that to her friend, too. She found out Sophia's number. But without casting an eye on that paper with her number on it, Sophia threw it into the sea. Sophia is Sophos. But you, I pity you.
It doesn't seem like trouble to me.
Alas, poor little Vertin. You still don't understand. The number of our souls suggests our fate. It might be changed through algorithms temporarily, swirling, shifting, or transforming alongside other changes occurring on the coordinate axis. But in the end, we can only be ourselves. 1 is thought. 2 is opinion. 3 is wisdom. 4 is strength. 5, enthusiasm. 6, harmony. 7, order. 8, philanthropy. 9 is restraint, while 10 is completion. 0, however, is in the middle of the axis, the origin of the frame of reference. It's neither positive nor negative, neither prime nor composite. Things are ever changing, but you stay the same. Your loneliness also lasts forever. This is your fate. Being exposed in full view of the crowd, yet you know nothing about it. 37 was acting on impulse, yet she opened Pandora's box. She leisurely reveals your fate. That carefree behavior makes no difference to picking up a shell on a beach. How could I not pity you?
Miss Vertin. "37's proof has passed the review. Your friend will now be exempt from the punishment for violating the rules. However, she has to take some catch-up lessons on the scripture. Please, meet me at the hall tomorrow at noon. I would have words with you." Before this negotiation begins, I wish to tell an allegory to the two of you. A group of people were imprisoned in a cave. Behind them, there was a fire. Before them was a tall, solid wall. Their legs and necks were chained and fixed, so they were constrained to look nowhere but to gaze at the wall in front of them. When they dropped their eyes, they saw their own body. When they looked up, the flickering light of the fire fell over them, and they only saw the shadows of what was passing behind them. No one had lived one day outside the cave. The shadows cast on the wall all there was to be perceived as reality. They had no knowledge of the real world. One day, one of them escaped from the cave, walked into the light, and saw the true world with his own eyes for the first time. Everything he saw or felt in the cave was nothing more than a mere shadow of the object's true form. Our world is a poor one, Miss Vertin. The phenomenal world is the cave in this allegory, where we are surrounded by shadows or some humble fractions of the truth. It is ugly, frivolous, filthy, perishable, subject to decay, and filled with hollow desires and meaningless struggles. Only the wise can walk out of that cave and see the world as it truly is. In that eternal, transcendent world, everything is in its most perfect form. I pray that you, Miss Vertin, the representative of St. Pavlov Foundation, and you, Miss Arcana, her counterpart of Manus Vindicte, would pay heed to my words. Everything you've been fighting each other for means no more than some fragments of phenomena to us. There's only one thing worth doing. That is, to seek higher wisdom, develop one's virtue, and achieve greatness in life. We have never set foot on the soil dampened by the storm, nor have we ever been involved in the disputes brought by the torrents of time. I beg you, do not take your conflict in the phenomenal world into the realm of truth.
For certain. It was never my intention to sully the sanctuary of truth.
Then, to prevent a situation like this from happening again, I would like to ask you two to carve your names on these 2 stone bangles and drip a drop of your blood on each of them. Once the bracelet is put on, no one will be able to remove it. From now on, as long as you're on this island, none of your people will draw blood from one another, or the bangle shall draw all the blood from you. The peace agreement is so decided.
I appreciate that. I'll sign it. The peace agreement.
Lady Vertin, we meet again. I wish the best to thy friend.
She's doing well, thanks to you.
You're most welcome. Thou shalt quench, for times hath changed. I would not wish to shed even a drop of Arcanist's blood in vain.
But Schneider should be the victim of a merciless bullet?
Vertin, my pitiful child. Did you forget? That merciless bullet cameth from a gun never belonging to me.
What's Manus Vindicte's purpose to be here?
Hearken the archaic wisdom. Just as thou doest. I am not surprised. I adore thy visage, Lady Vertin, emotionless in the storm. Alas, no man shall bravest the storm and live, including thee.
A wooden box in the Elitiaus base has my name on it. Was that your doing?
Sadly, it wasn't. I hope thee findeth the answer satisfactory.
It's burning.
Is that Miss Arcana? Miss Arcana! Please, don't go! Save us! And save Aunt!
No! Come back! Come back! You ignorant foreigners! I just started introducing vectors and matrices, and that's the most interesting part! Vertin! Great! You always show up at the right time and right place! Stop the mass people! Whatever it takes!
Dental checkup. Nowhere.
Take it easy.
Please, don't resist.
Are you irrational members? Irrational?
Relax.
Handle it gently. Could be found.
Come back to me.
Flying handbag for only 3,000 Turpidontes. Are you irrational members?
Stop. Nowhere. Relax.
Given that.
Breathe. Please, don't resist.
Time to check my calculation. The final
Take it
demonstration.
easy.
Welcome to the world of numbers. Flying handbag for only 3,000 Turpidontes.
Please, don't resist.
How troublesome. Bloody prom.
These moments.
The ocean dried and I'm alone again. Form is a bubble.
No, relax.
Take it easy.
I smell the scent of mint oil. Thank you for your cooperation.
A little bit hot here. How troublesome.
No worries. Relax.
Handle it gently.
Come back to me. Thank you for your cooperation.
Hey! The final demonstration.
Take it easy.
Welcome to the world of numbers. My child, here's something fun for you. Bloody prom. The ocean dried and I'm alone again.
Breathe.
Are you irrational members? Victory? Okay, but what does it mean to us? I mean, what does it prove?
Look at you, climbing out of the cave in the allegory, all dusty and dirty like a little savage. They must have tried to fill your little brain with long preachment. But you should feel lucky, because at least they didn't give you a quiz right after that. Oh, how modest you are. Looks like you didn't spend all your student days catching tree frogs. Try to reach the corners of your mind, if you would. And there you will find another bunch of people standing in front of a stone table. Yes, those people in gowns. white gowns with gray diamond patterns. One of them was standing on the stairs, gathering all the little vacant eyes to his side. What was he called? Give me a second. Teacher, instructor, tutor, the educator. Just titles like that. No names at all. No one gets to write down their names on that banner, after all. But they have nothing to complain about. You know what they say? What is reasonable is real. That which is real is reasonable. They showed you a broad avenue in their teachings where you could enjoy a sense of security with all the solid ground, convenient automobiles, and warm sunshine. And at the end of the avenue even lies an inspiring mission, to which you are expected to devote your whole life. There is a distinction between good and bad here, and it's as clear as our innate sense of right and wrong, like a floor of black and white tiles. Any stains on it will be noticed immediately. But in fact, there exists another path in the woods. It's much less traveled, leading to the unknown darkness which cannot be seen with eyes or proved false. You may even experience indescribable chaos and madness there. This path, however, has an excellent view, and it's one of a kind. The plants are thriving with bursting energy, and the flowers are blooming in a delightful atmosphere. So, which will you take? Oh, of course, as you've been on it all the time. But that's exactly why you know how inflexible it is. You know that even better than any of those old fellas who have spent decades on it, don't you? Just because you've been on it doesn't mean you can expect a comfortable journey, darling. But luckily, there's still one more way you can take. It would be a good choice if you want to enjoy the scenery without getting lost in the darkness. I'm sure you know that myth. You shall take the soul of your love out of the underworld, yet you shall not look back. That's right. You shall pass by the sleeping sirens, yet you shall not make a sound. The ones with the belief set off. They entered the dark woods barefooted, yet moved so smoothly, as if they were walking on the avenue. They kept their mouths shut and eyes forward. They never turned back, never picked up what was not theirs, never set foot on the forbidden lands, and never looked straight at the sacred greatness. They showed frugality, patience, and wisdom in the face of hunger and danger. So the beasts continued to lurk in the shadow, and the ones with the belief passed through the woods safely until the path disappeared along with the direction sign. Then the first one to look back gave an exclamation before being exiled. Think about what I just said. That which is real is reasonable. Never look back in the woods, darling. If you don't want to be turned into a pillar of salt which can do nothing but wail, then never, ever look back. Yes, we'd better stay awake, stay calm, stay cautious all the time. But then there comes the problem. How can you ignore your love for those thriving plants and blooming flowers? How are you supposed to deal with the unstoppable feeling that overflows like a melody when it is stirred up by the beauty of the scenery? Of course, you will cry the loudest cry, dance the wildest dance, drink the strongest drink, and vomit all the filth inside you. After all, there is no need to enter the woods if the soul-stirring scenery is not what you are after. Right? No. So you'd better let it slip your mind, darling. Just let it go and hurry forward. Remember to keep your eyes shut and hold your breath. When you do so, the scenery will no longer mean anything to you, nor will the fragrance of the flowers. You will get out of the woods and reach where the truth lies. Is that what you want? Don't worry. We have plenty of time. You may come back at any time and pick another way.
Congratulations, Miss Sonetto. You are the fastest learner of our doctrine among all the visitors in the past half-century. On behalf of all orators, I award you this laurel wreath.
No, I wouldn't have achieved this without your guidance. Those mathematics statements are really inspiring. I've learned a lot. But there's still something confusing me, such as Pythagoras and his golden thigh, his memory of the previous lifetimes as the son of Hermes, and the transmigration for every 216 years. Could you please tell me more about these?
Why would people fail to see the charm of the matrices? This is not right. I need to spend more time on teaching.
Anyone, save us!
Thus my journey of art is doomed to fail. I really don't want to study maths anymore. Help.
Timekeeper, you are here.
I heard that you completed all the lessons on the scripture. This laurel wreath suits you well.
Timekeeper, I'm sorry. At the assembly, I failed to understand the Arcanist's logic. It was totally different to the debates I have participated in. But now I have...
That was not your fault, Sonetto. It is now behind us. I need to tell you something more important. I've signed a peace agreement with Arcana, and the price of breaking it is... death.
What? So Manus Vindictae is also restrained by the stone bangle like we are.
Yes, she put it on without hesitation. But I don't think her purpose would be as simple as hearkening the ancient wisdom. I attacked Manus' followers earlier as 37 asked me to. But I received no punishment from the bangle. Perhaps this island makes its own judgment on what to be classified as hostility. Like it has a mind of its own. Sonetto, do not report this to the headquarters before we figure out how the bangle works. After all, there are many other things to investigate on this island, other than Manus Vindictae.
I see. I will contact Miss Druvis and Miss Moiselle first and keep an eye on Arcana. Timekeeper, this island, the Manus' mask, and your suitcase are all immune to the storm. Does this mean we could collect more asymmetrical nuclide R samples?
I tried to collect some samples last night in the outer region of the island. But the detecting device showed nothing. If we were to find out more, we have to go to the center area.
What are you conspiring now? Do not poke the fire with swords, and do not jump over a crossbar. The assembly will not be held every time when there's a crime. Please take heed of my warning, and do not overstep the line. Learn a lesson from them.
Lilia, didn't you say you have Regulus with you safely?
Apologies, Vertin. I was going to rescue Sonetto through a very creative underground tunnel. But things didn't quite go as planned.
Not a bad innovation for a simple clap on the forehead. If only you didn't miscalculate the location of the explosion.
This apple is grateful that it didn't get blasted into a puddle of apple jam.
Warning. Shell cleaning required. Warning.
I don't know why, but when I was in that cave, ideas kept flooding into my head. Though, judging by the outcome, they weren't all good ideas.
On a routine patrol, I found them trying to break into the cave. I'm not surprised that an irrational number would try to trespass on forbidden grounds. But you two? The integer and the fraction? What were you doing with her? This is a serious crime.
Do we have to go through this debate again?
It's okay, Timekeeper. I will defend Regulus. I've thoroughly studied the scripture, and this time I'm sure I can do better.
Forget it.
Forget it.
It is unwise to waste time trying to understand an irrational number's motive. Besides, we should let the reckless take care of the least important matters. That's it. Regulus, you will come with me to clean the beach.
Huh? Me? Again?
Since you have too many floating points, words of discipline would not work on you. We would have suggested you study with the rest of the students here. Abstain from eating meat, bathe in cold water, rise with the Apollo star, study our doctrine, read the scripture aloud on the beach, so as to remove your floating points and purify your soul.
What? I won't do any of that.
But taking your peculiar character into consideration, I decided that some compulsory labor would be the better option.
Oh, that's the best news of the day. I'd rather clean up the rubbish on the beach than be surrounded by people giving sermons all the time. At least the rubbish doesn't talk gibberish. I'd be dead if you didn't change your mind.
Regulus, studying the scripture is not that scary. They will teach you and guide you until you take full command. Just like taking lessons at school.
Huh? Is that what schools are like?
Haven't you been to a school, Regulus?
Haha! A great pirate would not remember trivial matters as such. So, where were we? Which part of the beach needs to be taken care of by the great captain?
My laboratory.
Whoa! Where did you pop up from?
"37. Aren't you supposed to preach to the visitors?"
I've seen their numbers. A group of negative repeating infinite decimals. They will achieve nothing but to repeatedly step in the river of mistakes. I gave up on them.
Fine. Those of you who are complicit in breaking into the cave will also be sent to labor. Sonetto and Lilia will come with me to patrol. Regulus, you can go clean the lab. As for Vertin, you will assist 37 with her study of the emanation. Don't waste more time on the trivial matters of the phenomenal world, integers. That was the sole reason you were on this island, was it not?
Don't let down your guard. The arcanists on this island are not as easy to deal with as you imagined. Down in the cave, I heard some pretty alluring and intriguing anecdotes.
Miss Lilia, this way. You will cover this area.
Stay on the radio.
Don't worry, Timekeeper. Lilia and I will keep an eye on Manus Vindictae. We are counting on you, Sonetto. I have a feeling we are coming closer to a big secret.
Anyone offer your seat to the seniors?
No worries.
Take it easy.
Time to check my calculation.
Relax.
It could be
Handle it gently.
Thank you for your cooperation.
A little bit hot here.
No worries. Relax.
Take it easy.
Come back to me. Thank you for your cooperation.
Hey!
We need to relax. Atu, show,